Hey everyone, Sam Signorelli. Welcome back to Can Haz Armory. Today we're going to replace the spring pack on an Uhlmann turtle reel. One of the rare jobs on an Uhlmann that's actually easier than it is on a Favero. So hang on a sec, I'll show the reel in question and we'll get to it. Okay, so we're back and here's the spring. Now there are 4 screws on this spring. There's one here, one on this side, and there's 2 here. And one of them, I always forget which one, is longer and actually goes through a tab where the spring sits and actually makes the connection between the spring and the ground line, which is the casing. So I'm going to take my powered screwdriver and take these off. The spring's already lost tension because the spring broke, so I don't worry about that shooting around the room. Sorry about the interruption. A phone call came in. Back to pulling screws out. That one might be the long one. So that's the one that is longer than the others. It goes through the tab on the spring and connects the ground line. Okay, now all 4 out. Put that aside somewhere. And take this off, and I'll show you some particulars. Okay, now first off, on the underside, you see this shaft right here. You can see it. There's a little slot. That is where the center of the spring goes in. I'll show you the new one. Toss that aside. So here's the new spring, and you can see it's taped down because if I don't tape this down, it's going to pop off. Spring goes shooting everywhere. That's not good. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the tape, and then I'm going to clamp it so nothing comes up. So the tape, don't need to have the tape on it. Its only purpose is to hold the little casing on that protects it. Comes off pretty easily. Okay, so we have the spring pack, and take the bottom case off and put it where it belongs there. And now you see I have the spring. Well, to make sure it doesn't go shooting out, I'm going to put a little bit of a clamp on it so it doesn't come firing out, because nothing's worse than the spring shooting away at you. There we go. So now you can see the spring's held in place, so now I can handle it easily. The center section here, you can see where it's been over. That's just fit into that slot on the shaft. That's the easy part. The hard part is sometimes putting it down without losing where the spring is. I'm not going to tighten this up just yet, but I'm going to put this on real quick, so let's do that. I'm going to pull it out a bit, and notice I'm keeping a thumb on the spring so it doesn't shoot out. Turn out so it's that way, lines up. Sometimes hard to see, there's no light. Line it up there. There, now it's more lined up. I feel something there. Now it's on. Now I put this down. So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to pull these clamps out and lay it down. So now it's down. It has not shot out and is not wound up. So right now it's very, very safe. So now I got to put the screws back in place. And the hard part sometimes is lining up the holes in the bottom plate with the holes in the mounting thing. This little cutout here, that's where that longer screw goes. So I'm going to turn that first off so it lines up with the holes. Okay, there's one hole there, one hole there. So, okay, so now I have it lined up. I'll try to have it lined up. So one of the screw holes, that hole there is lined up. That's one of the shorter screws. I'm going to put one of them in to hold it in place. But as with any screw job, I'm not going to tighten it up all the way. I'm just going to put it so it engages and holds in place. Okay, partially down. Now I'm going to try and line up. Yeah, and that was a mistake. Because guess what dummy did? I forgot to put it through the casing. Let's try this again, shall we? So there's the casing. Take 2 on this. Okay. Okay, now it's in. Backed off a little bit, so now it's in. Now I gotta line up the bottom plate with the other holes. That one there's done. And screw that in. Again, I'm not tightening all the way down yet, because I want to make sure I have enough play to line the holes up. Oops, get in there. There we go. The last one in. This is the one that goes long because it is doesn't have a countersunk side to it. Oops. Getting in there sometimes is a hard part because of the brand new plate. There it goes. Now it's in. As soon as that catches, and for some reason it's not catching, that's the hard part. So now I gotta find why it's not lined up. Looks like it is. Scoot, trying to line up a bit. Ah, I think I know why. Nope, that's the right one. I got the screws mixed up, which happens. And I gotta find which one the longer one is. The long one should have gone there. Which probably the one on the back side there. That's the one that should have gone in that spot. So we can, there it goes. It's probably this one here. That's the longer one. That goes there. Because the other holes are countersunk, this one's not. So it has to be a little longer to make sure it goes through. There it goes. I'll put that screw back there. Now I can go ahead and tighten them all down. Oops, popped out. And that's how you replace the spring on an Uhlmann reel. And the next thing I gotta do is I have to wind the spring up. I actually have to recable this reel. I'm not gonna show that one because Uhlmann cable replacements are a pain in the butt. When I get it redone, then I'll show how to wind the cable up and finish the process. So stand by. Okay, so we have the reel back in position. You can see that the cable is all the way out. And I'm going to wind the cable up and also tighten the spring. But first, I'm going to take this off. On one pulls right out. It's held in by two screws back here. I've already removed the screws, so it goes to the side. There it goes. Makes it easier to wind up. First, I'm going to wind this up about maybe 10 turns and let the spring start retracting. 10, and I start retracting a bit. The bit's going to run out of tension, and I have to do it again. See, the cable's also getting a little bit on the loose side, which we'll deal with in a bit. Cable. And a part on that side, there it goes. Can't wrap around itself and kind of didn't do it right. And we'll do this till it's wound all 20 meters up. Okay, so now it's about wound up all the way, all the cables on it. And we're going to do another 10 wind and then check how far it pulls out. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, what I want to do here is I want to pull it out and make sure that before the spring winds up all the way, all the cable is out. So, I'll keep on pulling it. It's still in the shot and move. There you go. Okay, now a little slower. You also see some loose cable on the drum because of how it wound up. And when I rewind it, I'll take care of that. So it's coming up to the end here. Okay, so you can see it's bottomed out and I still have plenty of cable on it. So I'm going to let it go. Rewind all the way. So that's not good because that means by the time the spring winds up all the way, there's still cable on the reel. So I'm going to take about 2 runs. I got to take about 3 runs off it. So there's 1, 2, 3, and try it again. Looking better. Nope. 1 more. Not quite. One more. This should do it. Pull way back. Now you can see, now it's all the way out. The spring's not all the way up. Now I can let it retract and sit back on the drum correctly. Run it through my hands here as it winds back up. There we go. Now I can put this back on, put the screws back down it, reassemble it. I already know that it works, and that is how you replace the spring on an Uhlmann reel and tighten it up. Make sure it has enough slack on it. As always, happy armoring.